Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. If you have recovered from the match between India and Pakistan at the MCG, then it's time to move on to the next match for India today. They are playing Netherlands. But as we've seen in this World Cup with Ireland beating England yesterday, that you can't take any of the smaller nations lightly. So here we are, we're building up to that game which will be played at the SCG, but there's a slight delay because a match that is being played that is live right now, that is still going on between South Africa and Bangladesh. South Africa almost winning this one, but we have to wait till the end of this match before toss can take place, and then you have to wait for another 30 minutes because that's the stipulated time after a match finishes on the same ground, 30 minutes before the next match can begin. But Ashok Malhotra is here with me as we build up to the match between India and Netherlands. Sir, after you've played such a draining match against Pakistan, how do you tell yourself that you're going to be playing against Netherlands and then you still need to have the same intensity, because that's what will be crucial for India today?
See, the good thing is that they got 2-3 days break, so they got the breath back. You know, whatever the euphoria they have of winning against Pakistan, it must have died down a bit, and they know they have got a job at hand. So definitely, I think they will be up and running once again. They know it is the entire World Cup. It is not beating Pakistan. That is the first step. But now you have to win the World Cup. That is your main goal, to win the World Cup. And I think that they'll be all ready to go. They know they can't take these teams down, because the shorter the version, more difficult it is for the bigger teams, because the intent is only for those 20 overs. And these minnows can be more than handful. They have come of age. So you can't take them lightly. You need to be playing at your best, at your full strength. And I hope our openers, which has been a handicap so far, they come to the party, get their rhythm back, get their form back, and then set the ball going.
Absolutely. So South Africa have won the match by 104 runs, and this is a massive win for them against Bangladesh, sir. And they would be so happy with this because they had to share points in the match in which they were leading, the last match that they played against Zimbabwe. And in this group, you really cannot afford to be even sharing points, forget losing, because everybody wants to finish at the top of the group. How big a win is this for them, and how impressed were you by Riley Russo before we come back to India versus Netherlands?
See, Riley Russo is amazing. Yeah. He went to England because he's not getting the chances because of the problems they have in South Africa, which makes Bavuma the captain of this team. So the thing is, he's come back. And how? And the moment he has come back, he's been drafted into the South African team, and he's been playing these phenomenal now. He's been a phenomenal strike of the ball. And not to forget the way he's batting. Anything is possible. But this was a desperate time for South Africa. They had to beat Bangladesh. They already shared points with Zimbabwe, which might be a double-edged thing. If it comes to run rate or it comes to points, they will definitely have 2 points more than the guys who might be struggling, because there might be a little bit of a topsy-turvy still. Although this group, I would say, comparatively easier, than the Australia, England, New Zealand. That is a much tougher group. That is genuinely a group of death. But this is, I think India has already qualified for semi-final, unless they have a great hiccup or something.
Correct.
But I think they are more or less through. And even against South Africa, I hope India will win, because they got Bavuma on their side, and that one man can turn the tide in favor of India.
Yeah, we've been saying this for so long now.
But a great win for South Africa. Great win for South Africa.
104 runs, sir. That's huge. And that also just goes on to show how poor Bangladesh were with the ball, with bat. They just, in fact, throughout the tournament, we've seen that, normally you see Bangladesh at least come up with one really good performance. This tournament, we haven't seen that.
See, the problem with Bangladesh, they've been, they got the recognition almost 20 years back. But they haven't come of age. They're taking baby steps. two steps forward, one step forward, two steps backwards kind of a thing. Whereas these teams, the Ireland, the Netherlands, the Namibia, they're all coming up in a big way, and they have got some big strikers, especially in a 20 format. They've got guys who can bowl quick, who can move the ball around, dart the ball around, and can play big, which is not the case with Bangladesh. They are very good, very comfortable when they play in their home condition, where the ball turns and then they are very good. You know, when there's not enough bounce, then they're good. But when they go abroad, they're always found wanting. And that is one more example of that they need to have good wickets in their backyard. They need to have some quick bowlers and definitely some big hitters if they want to do well in T20 cricket.
So South Africa ended up scoring 205, sir. India is going to be playing on the same ground. This is a high-scoring ground. We saw that even in the first match, which was played between Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand scored 200. So what are you expecting from India today in terms of, I mean, in this match? This seems like a high-scoring match again.
Yes, I think if we get off to a good start, if KL Rahul is in his prime form, he normally is when these kind of teams come. So if he gets going, then anything is possible. 200 is a part of that. Maybe it's too much for Netherlands. But if you bat first, you need to get 180 to 200 runs to put pressure on Netherlands. But not to forget, Netherlands has some big strikers also. And if they bat first, and if they put 160, 170, it will be it will not be in a cakewalk.
Sir, I've got to ask you this. Now, with rain looming, I mean, you know that this is going to be something that all teams will have to deal with throughout this World Cup. In a situation like this, would India, if they win the toss, would they want to bat first to just give an opportunity to their top order to score runs, Suryakumar Yadav to get some runs, or would they want to chase and, just make sure that they are completely in control of the game?
I think the strategy is to put the other side in and chase. And, even that's what Louis told. You have the entire sheet in your pockets. You know when to bat, when to accelerate, not to lose wickets. All these things are there. I think they missed a trick or two when it comes to England. I think they didn't plan it well. That's why they ended up losing. By 5 runs, it's not a big thing because one of them, either Moeen Ali or Livingston, anybody could have gone for a big one and cleared the field and would have been at par. You knew rain was round the corner. It was looming. So I thought they missed a trick. And when you talk about India, I think the team strategy seems to be win the toss, put the side in, restrict them to a reasonable total and chase.
You're right about this, England. We were discussing this yesterday, so we were wondering how England could have missed that, just 5 runs. And what was even more surprising was that they had that displayed on the big screen throughout. So England could see what the power score was throughout the match, and yet, I don't know, they just seem to be, in their heads, they felt like the sun is out and the Duckworth and Lewis would not come into play because it was quite shocking. But sir, just for Netherlands and for teams like Netherlands, how big is this? I mean, there was a press conference of their captain, Scott Edwards, and he was asked this, that after the match, will you go to the Indian dressing room and meet some of these players, And he said, of course, this is a huge opportunity for us to learn. And I think in a tournament like the World Cup is where they get this opportunity, where they can meet players from all the best teams, the best of players from the cricketing world.
Definitely so. First and foremost, it was qualifying for World Cup is an achievement. And then playing against India, which is on paper is the #1 side, and then having the huge stars whom they have only seen on television, heard about them, interacted with them, competing with them, and then definitely going into the dressing room, shaking hands with them, maybe taking their autographs. But the fact is, for them, it's a do or die. They are desperate. Believe you me, they are desperate people. They are not going to give an inch because that is the culture they have. These are the Netherlands, the Irish, Scottish, the Namibians. They have this culture. They go. They're not bothered about the reputation or the names. When they go in the middle, they play it the hard way, and that is what going to happen. He is hero worshipping the Indian team now on the press conference, but the moment he steps over the line, it'll be a different ball game, and it is going to be a tough game if they get off to a good start.
Yes, we're waiting for the toss, sir, but there is also some news coming from the Australian camp. Matthew Wade has tested positive for COVID, but he should play tomorrow. That's the news that we're just getting after Adam Zampa. So, you know, that's another one. Now, this is going to be difficult for them to figure out whether they really want to take the chance of playing a player who is COVID positive. And this is what we were talking about yesterday as well, sir, that what if they play, or day before yesterday, what if they play Zampa and others are positive? And now this is exactly what has happened. Anyway, also just coming back to India, I'm going to put one stat for you for Rohit Sharma's last 5 innings, 64 runs, striking at 100, averaging 12. Rohit Sharma, the captain, has been good. Rohit Sharma, the captain, has made sure that his players in the side feel secure. As he said, Rohit Sharma, the captain, has also said that we have this aggressive look and this is what we want to do. But Rohit Sharma, the batter in this tournament, going into the tournament, hasn't scored runs. This will be a problem at some point, do you think, in the tournament? He would want runs just for his confidence and to be able to lead better. A better batter is a better captain.
You said it. A better batter is definitely a better captain. If he's not batting well, believe you me, he'll be thinking about his batting. That is when he's going to miss a trick or two. And he has been struggling. You know, he said, I'll go hammer and tongs with the opposition, but look at the strike rate. It's 100. So the very ordinary strike rate is playing with, and the average. We want Rohit Sharma, the guy who carries the bat. Rohit Sharma, who plays the role of a sheet anchor, who plays a big inning. We don't want these cameos of 10, 15, 20, which does not suit Team India. And believe you me, sooner than later, he will start realizing that he is under tremendous pressure. Up till now, people are looking at Virat Kohli and were busy looking at him. But now they have got because he's the captain and he is in the news. And definitely he is the one who is going to be the top target for the entire India, because you expect your captain to do that. You know, going and hugging and lifting people on your shoulder is not going to help your cause. Somewhere along the line, you have to score runs, and that is very, very vital for your own sake and for the team's sake.
Let's also take a look at Netherlands and what can be expected from them. The good thing is that when you talk to any players from associate nations, the first thing they say is that they wish that they got more opportunities to play against the better teams. For Netherlands, they have got that. In 2022, they played against New Zealand, they've played against Pakistan, West Indies, they played against England. And more than that, sir, this team now depends a lot on their bowling. Their bowling has been good, but some of their batters are also, you know, pretty good batters. I mean, Bas de Lees, I was looking at his records this year. I know that Ricky Ponting has said that he is really, he thinks that he's a very good all-rounder, and that, you know, all T20 leagues, all the owners, franchises are looking at him to get him. I think Mumbai have already hired him for their Emirates for the International T20 League. But like we've been discussing, Netherlands is a good team. They have done well this year.
Yeah, playing with all these test playing nations must have given them the belief. You know, must have given them the belief they can compete at this level. And now making the World Cup, beating the other side, must have given them the belief. And you said, talk about Delhi. He is a phenomenal player. You have got Vikram Singh, who is a good striker of the ball of Indian origin. Yeah. And he is there because he can hit the ball a long way. So they have some good hitters of the ball, some good strikers of the ball. So you can't take them lightly. And as you very rightly said, they have got a reasonably good bowling. And Australian wickets are going to help them because there's bounce, pace, movement in these wickets. I know they're playing second on this wicket, but still there will be a lot of life in the wicket. The way South Africa exploited, you might expect them to exploit. And not to forget, we are still top heavy. You know, thankfully, Virat is in a good nick. You got Hardik Pandya is in a good nick, but there's still a lot to learn, because the top order is still struggling, and Surya has yet to fire in the world.
How hungover are you of the last one, last India-Pakistan from Sunday?
Believe you me, we have been talking about this everywhere. Be it in my academy, be it on the road, be it anywhere I've gone to the cricket association of Bengal. They're only talking about Virat. The talk is around Virat and how he batted, how he hit that magnificent six straight over the bowler's head. That is brilliant. But I think we have got over it. Now we know that now we are back to business. So definitely now you've got to get back to business. I hope Virat is over that hangover. I hope Rohit and KL, they know they have a job in hand. They have to give India to get off to a good start if they want to win this game.
You know, I was looking at KL Rahul's numbers this year, sir. He's played 11 matches this year and he's got 450s in that. And I agree that in the Asia Cup, and I also agree to where this whole narrative begins about KL Rahul, that it's in, important big matches that he doesn't end up performing. I was seeing Afghanistan, a team that was completely, after that emotional game they played against Pakistan, India played them, beat them, he scored a 60. Then after that, he scored against Australia, he scored 250s, I think 150 against Australia, one against South Africa as well, or I think two good scores against South Africa. But somewhere there is this narrative that KL Rahul somehow in big matches always disappoints you. There is a reality to it. You think that there's some truth to it?
See, there is a little bit of truth. See, he's a great player. I wouldn't say he is maybe the top three batters we have. Rohit, KL, and Virat. There's no two ways about it. He's a very talented player, very explosive player when he gets going. And when he gets going, it is unbelievable the way he plays those balls. But he's not consistent enough. As you very rightly said, comes the big games. That is when Rahul tends to fail. Because that is the crunch games. When you become a great player, when you start delivering in the crunch games, there's no problem with his talent, his run making, everything. But when the crunch games come, like India Pakistan for one, or India South Africa for one, these are the games where you want your best players to stand up and deliver. And that is, I think, where Rahul falters a bit.
Now, there's just one left-handed player in the Netherlands lineup. Should India even look to, I think the coach Paras Bhamre said that no, they would want Ashwin for balance. But is that the right thing, or should India go in with Yuzvendra Chahal?
See, they're very, I would say, they're convinced with Ashwin, they're not going to change. But if I would be coach or captain, I would have Yuzvendra Chahal for the simple reason. He, as a wrist spinner, he's the one who can give you wickets. And plus, most of the Netherlands, Scotland, Namibians, they all play the first line. They don't look at your hand. They play off the pitch. So that is where a leg spinner can be more than handy. Off spinner, predictable because Ashwin either bowls an off spinner or a leg spinner. That's all he bowls. So whereas Yuzvendra Chahal can not only bamboozle them, pick up wickets, and put them under pressure. So I would play Yuzvendra Chahal ahead of Ashwin, but I don't think it's going to happen because...
is that because of the batter that he is, that he's a better batter?
See, you need a bowler, a spinner, who can pick up wickets. Ashwin is not there for his batting. I understand he hit a 4 and won you the match. That anybody could have done. Sharma might have hit that 4. So that is not an issue. Main thing is how well you can bowl. Can you pick up wickets? These are very, very vital for me. But anyway, the buck stops with the management. It is them who calls the shots. We can say whatever. We can keep shouting from the rooftops. It doesn't make any effect on them.
Okay, now surprise for you. India won the toss and they've opted to bat. And the match will begin at 12:39 Indian time. So it's 12:26 right now. India have won the toss and they have opted to bat first. Now, I'm guessing this is because they want their other batters, their top order to get runs. We'll get to know in a bit what the reason is behind India wanting to bat first here, especially with rain around. But this is what Rohit Sharma said. We're going to bat first. Yeah, the morale is really high. Winning a game like that takes your confidence to the next level. There is no explanation to why they've opted to bat. Sir, how do you see this? For a team that likes chasing, for a team that has done well chasing, India opting to bat first in this one?
For me, it is a surprise. Maybe it is, as you said, they might want to give batting practice to the rest of the batters. But then it is being you getting confidence. Taking Netherlands for granted. What if we lose a couple of wickets early on? Then what happens? So that is for me. And maybe another thing which I can think of is maybe about the run rate. They want to maybe increase the run rate.
Yeah.
If it comes to that, that could be another thing which comes to the mind. So, but good luck to Team India. Whatever they decided to do, I hope they play well and they win the game.
Okay,
that's all we can play for.
So we've got the playing 11 for both the teams, and I've just mailed it over to our PCR as well. So India, they're going in with the same playing 11 from the last game, which is what their bowling coach had also said, that look, we've got the momentum. We do not want to, we do not want to stop India from moving ahead with that same momentum. We want to carry on. So no changes, sir, in this Indian side?
It is on expected lines, Neha. It is on expected lines. They don't make very many changes. And as of now, Rishabh Pant and Yajuvendra Chahal are not their favorite cricketers. And once they back somebody, if they decide to back somebody, then they go all the way. And in this case, it is happening.
So there's Rohit Sharma for all of you. It's the same playing 11. Captain Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Dinesh Karthik, Akshar Patel, Ravichandran Ashwin, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Shami and Arshdeep Singh. India have won the toss. They've opted to bat first at the SCG. That's the playing 11 for you. No changes there. And sir, I'm convinced that Ravichandran Ashwin is going to keep his side till he does something completely wrong, just for that great leave in the last over, the second last ball. I get the feeling that after that, he's not going to be kept out of this playing 11.
I think so, because and not to forget that boundary hit, is calm, composed, and he finished the game, which otherwise, it would have been Yajuvendra Chahal, maybe Virat might have been stranded at the non-striker, right?
Yeah.
So that could be the thing, but I think my thinking is you pick a guy either for his bowling or his batting. So either this or that is not going to pay for it. Then you can have Harshal Patel because he can bat better than Arshdeep Singh or even Mohammad Shami. So you should have. But the first and foremost priority is bowling. So if he fits into your scheme of things, good luck.
Okay, so that's also the Netherlands playing 11, sir. We've talked about Vikramjit Singh, a 19-year-old left-handed batter. Everybody's been talking about it. Very talented. There's Bust Elite. We again talked about him. Good all-rounder. So he's the highest wicket taker for them and the highest run scorer this year. And I think second highest run scorer in the qualifiers as well. So he's there. There's Tom Cooper, who has a lot of experience. There is Max O'Dowd, who's been scoring runs. Colin Ackerman has also got experience, and they've all got like 2 nationalities, no? They've all had like, not all, but some of them are.
Like Mayor Tom Cooper plays in Australia.
Correct.
The Sheffield Shield, the Big Bash.
Correct. Correct. Then their bowling, sir, is also good. You have this Meekaran, who's good. He got 2 wickets in the last game. There is Logan Van Beek. It's a good side. It's a, it's a decent side. They've got a decent bowling attack, and they've got on their day they can cause an upset.
They can. You can't take them lightly. That is my only thing. I hope we are not complacent. That's all I'm praying for. I hope we have not taken that for granted. Okay, these are 4 points in our bag. It is not. Still, it is not over. It is not over because it's a 20-over game. 1 over, 2 overs can turn the game the other side's favor. So I think they are a good, decent side. They are a side which is capable of beating maybe somebody, a team like Bangladesh in Australian conditions. So they are a formidable side, and we should be a little bit careful when we play against.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at India's bowling attack, sir, and coming into this tournament, I mean, all the talk around death bowling and, you know, how with Jasprit Bumrah out, who's going to take his side, with Mohammad Shami coming in, and after the way, all three of them, I'm talking about the Pacers, along with the great Hardik Pandya, it actually, they've done really well. You know, they were in the match against Pakistan, they did well. Bhuvneshwar, Arshdeep, Shami, all three of them bowled well.
See, Meha, we had a great game, if you look at it. You know, first three overs, you had got picked up the two best players of Pakistan. So their backs were against the wall in the power play. So that is when you bowl well. You know, I would like to see when 4 overs, 35, 40 on the board, how we react. You know, how Shami reacts, how our Arshdeep reacts, or how Bhuvi reacts, or how our spinners, Aksar and Ashwin reacts. Because when you have the other side with their backs against the wall, you're all over them. Yeah, you know, so then it is easy to go, easy to be consistent. So I would say we should not go overboard. We should not think we have a full-fledged team. We have got all bases covered. We have fitted all the jigsaw puzzle is complete. I don't think it is happening. But the thing is, as of now, we look a very formidable bowling attack, as you very rightly said, with Hardik Pandya chipping in. And then not to forget on a moving conditions, on these seaming conditions, Bhuvi can be more than a handful, so can be Arshdeep. And less said the better about Shami. We know what he can do, and he is doing wonderfully well.
So it looks like this has come down to having better net run rates. And I think all teams will be approaching their matches because of keeping this in mind. We saw what South Africa also did. I mean, just the way they came out batting, they were aggressive from the word go. In this case, sir, if India wins today, then they are clear topper of the group. Right at the top of the group will be India if they win today. And if they win big, then, you know, net run rate is also going to be pretty good. The South Africa's net run rate has climbed up to 5.2 after that win. And they've got 3 points now. So if India wins, they get 4 points. Yeah, so I mean the fight is between these two teams right now. And this is, how are you looking at this group? It has also opened up a bit, but it has also made India the favorites to top this group after South African game was washed out.
Yeah, definitely. I think India will top. There's no two ways about it. Because India has already played Pakistan.
Yeah.
South Africa yet to play Pakistan and India. So these are the two vital games. They have to beat both of them if they want to top them. So it is not going to be easy. Zimbabwe, they might upset a side here or there, but they are not a force to reckon with. Neither is Netherlands or Bangladesh. So you have three teams, and for South Africa, the bad luck for them is the Zimbabwe game has been rained on.
Yeah.
That has been a drawback for them. It can be an advantage also. If the other games get rained off, then it might be advantage for them. But as of now, and if there is topsy-turvy, if Bangladesh upsets somebody or Netherlands upsets somebody, and then there might be points and the net run rate. Net run rate might come in handy, and that could be the only reason why India won the toss and top.
And also, I mean, even at the top, between the top two, to decide the topper of the group could come down to net run rate here as well. But South Africa were very close even today, sir, from another washout at one point when the players walked off, I think just minutes after the toss and after, the game started. And you said this could just get worse for South Africa and the bad luck would have continued in the World Cups. But we're also assuming, sir, that none of India's games will be washed out. And, if that doesn't happen, then of course India are favorite to top the group.
Yes, India is then favorite to reach the same finals. Then it is anybody's. Because then it is a knockout game. Then anything on that day, India has always been reaching the same final. India, before any World Cup, we are the best team on paper. But it is when the crunch games come, that is when we tend to struggle. It might be another day, new captain, maybe not in form, but still a new captain with new destiny, new luck. Absolutely. You never know, things just might change. Maybe Virat was not destined to lift any ICC cup.
I also feel that this is also important for someone like Akshar Patel to do well, sir. Because India does not really have a replacement for him. Who comes in place of Akshar Patel with the kind of role that he plays for this team? So if he had a bad day against Pakistan, you know, from every match, India would want him to perform consistently with the bat, with the
He
ball.
will. He will, Meha. I'm not too worried about it. He had a bad day in the office. He has one bad over because they had to go after him. And unluckily, he was in the firing line and he really got fired. You know, he got bombarded, if I may say. But the fact is, he's a captain. He can take care of himself. He's the one who will deliver. Who will deliver. Believe you me, he will be performing. I'm not too worried about Akshar Patel. He had a bad over in the game against Pakistan. So that is why it has been highlighted so much. But I think he will deliver. And he's a good enough player. And he's an ideal replacement for India.
That's what I'm saying. But there is no other replacement for him. So in that sense, India needs him at that position and for him to do well. Okay, also quickly on Suryakumar Yadav, he was quiet in the last game, though he looked good. It almost seemed like वो पटाखा होता है ना, बस burst होने वाला उससे पहले वो, you know, he got out. But this is a stage set for the top order and Suryakumar Yadav to score runs today.
Yeah, he looked in a very good thing. You know, the way he came and even losing 2 wickets. He was firing on all done. Maybe he got too carried away. When you're in this kind of a form, you tend to get carried away a bit. And that is exactly what happened. You know, he played a couple of good shots and we thought, oh, here he goes again. But it was not to be.
He also cramped up, sir. That delivery was a good delivery.
It was, but probably the shot, it is his favorite shot. Probably the bounce and the pace.
Yeah. So yes, India versus Netherlands, of course, going in as favourites are India. What are you expecting? Quick predictions, sir. What's the score? The first team that batted first on this pitch 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago scored 200. What will India score?
I think India will also get to between 180. There's no two ways about it. Less than that, you're asking for trouble. But I think the way India is playing, the way KL Rahul and Rohit has yet to fire. Once they get going, then even 220, 230 is possible. The kind of firepower we have in our ranks.
Because, I mean, Netherlands have caused 2 upsets, both against England. So, you know, they've done this before in 2009 and 2014, I think. But yes, and what are you expecting? How many runs will India win by?
At least 50 runs. At least 50 runs.
Okay. Okay. Just before we go, let's take a look at South Africa Bangladesh scorecard. South Africa thrashing Bangladesh by 104 runs. Take a look at that. 205 is what South Africa set. Riley Russo, brilliant 100. In fact, back-to-back hundreds for Riley Russo. Had a partnership with Quinton de Kock for 168 runs. And then in reply, Anrik Nokia and Tabriz Shamshi taking the wickets. Bangladesh just could not get going. Their batting was all over the place. 101 all out and kept losing wickets right from the start. It didn't take long for South Africa to close this win. And with this, South Africa have jumped right to the top of the table and are in direct competition now with India. We leave it here. Thank you so much, Ashok sir, for joining us here.
Thank you.
Okay, and Ashok sir will be there after the match as well as we review what will hopefully be a big Indian win. That's it from us. News 9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.